welcome to the Women's Health Podcast. I love this. We've got Tony, Kiko, Dulce, our special guest Miranda, Marabella, and myself, Sky, and we all changed our life eating a whole food, raw, high raw type diet. Hi, ladies.
Hi. Hello. Welcome. We're happy to be back.
Oh, I love this. It fills my heart. I learned so much. And I'm very excited to have a very good friend of mine, Miranda, here, who's a bit younger than us and going to talk on her transformation with her hormones, what occurred when she changed her diet with hormones, IBS, brain fog, all these things that change cramps. So we're really excited. And I'm going to bring Miranda up to share what happened. Welcome.
Hello, everyone. Well, thanks for having me here. It's very exciting. So yeah, particularly in women's health and kind of like health in general as a woman, I would say when I was younger, I was vegetarian and I still had a lot of issues. So going vegan in general helped, but especially just cutting out like a lot of like not good processed kind of foods, like really heavy, just not a lot of life in my diet. And when I started incorporating more life, more color, more fruit, especially a lot of greens and veggies and, plants, yeah, that's definitely helped. And I used to have really bad cramps, really bad period symptoms, PMSing, just irritability, low energy, fatigue, things like that. So I definitely noticed a difference over time. It took a few, it took a few months because I was on birth control for 6 years, which, definitely suppressed a lot of symptoms. But it definitely exacerbated after the fact of me quitting the birth control and also changing my diet. I kind of did that symbiotically. So it was a lot for my body to handle. And I had a rough transition for maybe like 2 to 3 months after that. But, I just had a lot of smoothies, like a lot of hydrating foods, and still currently do. And yeah, I've just loved it so much, and I always will, and I always do. It's just I think you got to be patient with yourself. I used to have a lot of like emotional like instability, a lot of mood swings too. And I think now it's just so great and amazing, and it's just nice to be able to share it with you guys and try to inspire other people to, say that I don't have to live a certain way just because I am currently. I can change it. But yeah, my skin I used to be a lot worse, not terrible, but I used to have a lot of acne and like bumps on my body and stuff, and definitely IBS, digestive issues a lot can, occur with stress and hormones and stuff as well. So I definitely reversed that. I haven't had any digestive problems for a while. And yeah, so yeah, if you guys have any questions, let me know. I just don't want to go on a rant, but yeah, I'm so just excited to be here. And
Oh,
I want to learn more about you guys and your audience as well. So,
I love that. I have a couple of questions, and I'm sure we all do. My first question that I wanted to ask is, was when you went raw and high raw because of your hormone problems, and were you focused on specific foods to help that?
I wouldn't say I was focused on specific foods. I definitely prioritize eating a lot of fruit, a lot of hydrating foods, a lot of foods that are very dense in minerals and vitamins and, stuff you need that you're lacking on your period, iron and calcium, a lot of electrolytes too. I definitely noticed I really wanted a lot of, smoothies, a lot of hydrating foods, especially around my period, because you're holding a lot of water and stuff. And I definitely started doing a lot of foods that I haven't like tried before. So I would try a lot of different foods. Like I tried like acai. I never had acai before I actually going like high raw, which is crazy because I feel like it's like acai bowls or just a thing. But I never had it, and I'm like, wow, this is great. It's just amazing. A lot the amount of goodness and experimentation you can do. So I definitely noticed when I first went, wasn't really specifically for my hormones. I would say it was kind of I think hormones like control a lot of things in your body. So maybe subconsciously it was, but I definitely went high raw, eating a lot of fruit. For mostly my digestion, I had a lot of IBS, bloating issues, just and a low, very low energy. And that's the first thing I noticed was having a higher energy, which led me to be able to do other things. Like I do like lymphatic massages and stuff. And that can help with stress. And I used to have a very high stress lifestyle, and now I have a very low stress lifestyle. And I think like as women, we need to prioritize rest and de-stressing. We can tend just worry about things. And I think like the IBS I had was definitely more, not 100%, but a lot of stress relation. And the way that I would eat was kind of like, I would like kind of binge out and then not eat for a while and like do that. It was very not good for my metabolism, not good for my self image, and stuff like that. But yeah.
Oh, thank you. Okay.
Amazing, Miranda.
So
Well, I would like to say that your skin is glowing every time. So you have
Thank
done your
you.
work. I love to
Thank
see you and to have you here so you can share
All
more
you
about
guys are
yourself.
glowing though. All of us are glowing, just radiating goodness, love,
Yeah, thank you.
femininity.
Well, I wanted to ask you, like, how did you supported your adrenals when you were like you were mentioning that you were focusing on hydration and more dense foods and all of this and minerals, but how did you support your adrenals? Because when you were dealing with all this stress and the hormones and all of that, it's basically what we need to focus on. My experience is the adrenals. I don't know about you.
Oh, I mean, yeah, I'm not like 100% well versed on adrenal health and stuff, but I think when it came to not drinking caffeine, not drinking alcohol, not staying up late, like, and eating late at night, I would try to not do all these things. But yeah, just trying to be, I don't know, more mindful and like doing breath work and, just trying to relax, but supporting adrenal. Like, I think at one point I had like adrenal fatigue, and I was just very, oh, like brain fog, like I was talking about. And I don't know, it was just not good. And I guess over time it helped, but I didn't specifically go out and look for things that support adrenal health. I guess I think that everything connects. So I
Yeah.
didn't really focus on one body system or like, you know what I mean? Like one
Yeah.
system. I kind of think it works all together. So, I mean, it definitely helped because I don't have these issues anymore.
Yeah, totally. Good for
thank
you.
you. So can I just get everyone to check in their comments quickly and just do a bit of a cleanup going on there? Thank you. Who
And
else has? There's just there's a few
yeah,
people.
Melinda, good to see you.
I'm
Look
going
at
to stop
you.
again. I need some people to go in and clean up the comments.
There's always one.
There's,
one or two.
I really need everyone to, just the way it's going at the moment. Unfortunately, this has happened and we don't want the spammers. So if you guys can go in and someone's got, we want Jenna Class to go and just keep an eye on that before we move forward.
How do we
Yeah.
remove people?
So Kiko, the right.
Yeah, you have to you have to minimize the screen, and on the right side, you would see private chat and comments.
Yep.
And you click on the comments, and you go on the right side of the comments, and you would see the 3 dots. If it's coming from your channel, you would see.
Okay. Yeah. See, it's not coming from my channel. I don't know.
Marabella, your channel? Or you're
You
muted?
muted.
I've been deleting comments, but I don't know how to delete the person.
So on the 3 dots on the
so
right-hand side?
Yeah, if you see the person's name, you go to the right side, and if you scroll over, there should be 3 dots coming up.
And I see delete comment, put them in timeout, or ban.
Ban. Yes,
Yeah.
ban. Thanks, guys. I can actually go back in this video and take out, I think I can take out this section possibly, maybe. So that's all fine. Sorry for those watching. But yeah, just if we can keep on top of those now. All right.
Oh, we don't want them.
No, we want happy people. And I saw Violet there. Hello. So
Just to ask, where's Miranda? Whereabouts are you, Miranda? In America?
I live in Lancaster, Pennsylvania, in the United States. So right now it's super cold and snowy, and late. The sun just set. So
What time is it there now?
right now it is 5:15 p.m.
Oh, okay, so it's dark. Wow.
You
Yeah.
can't.
oh my God, you're like 12 hours opposite. It's 5 a.m. for Tony and 5 p.m. for Miranda.
Isn't it? It's like
Tony, where are you? Are you?
I'm in the future.
Where are you? Where are you located, Tony?
So I'm from the UK, England, but now live in Phuket, Thailand. Been here 9 years.
Oh, that's awesome! Wow.
Yeah.
So if you guys, Miranda, if you want to come over anytime, because if you love fruit, the fruit is where it's at here.
I know. I've heard that. I've heard it. Thailand is just right. You said Thailand?
Yes. Yeah.
Yes. It's just an amazing place. I haven't been, but definitely will one day for the fruit. And I heard the people are nice too. And it's not about this podcast is not about that. But yes, that sounds great.
And you've got a huge animal advocate up there. I mean, we're all animal advocates, but Tony does dog rescue as well.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Miranda,
Okay.
I have a question. So, when you were on the birth control pill, did you speak to your parents about it?
What do you mean, like being on? Oh, I was on that. I went on birth control when I was 16 because I was having extremely bad cramps and just intense symptoms. I would throw up. I couldn't even go to school. So I guess the answer at the time seemed to be to put me on birth control. So that's how that started. And then I went off of it around the age of 22, 23. So yeah, about 6 years. And, I feel like my body had to relearn how to, I don't know, just be natural the way I was born to be. So it took a little bit. And obviously, like, my diet helped. At the time, I was eating well. So, like, eating a lot of fruit, a lot of vegetables, a lot of goodness. But, there's something deep that was going on in my body that I needed to replenish my natural hormones and even them out, I guess, over time. And it took a few months, and I had some really bad cramps when I and it was very irregular. My period was very irregular at the time, but it's solid now, so thankfully. Yeah,
It's great. Yeah, I just remember when I was in the States, the pills were so easily handed. I mean, it was they just give it to you like a candy, and I remember I had some pressure. Like, Kiko, if you have a boyfriend, like, you have to protect yourself, get on the pill. And thank God, my boyfriend at that time, he didn't like it, so he threw everything out. So I stopped taking it. But I just remember how easy it was. And later I realized, like, why does it have to be on women's side to protect? Like, why is it always on women's side to
I guess because we are the ones who physically hold the consequence of that, so, but I never went on birth control for that reason. I mean, later in life, it definitely helped, but at the time I wasn't sexually active, so I needed it for hormonal control, right? So, I don't know. It was very easy. Yeah, I went to the doctor, they did a checkup barely, and they're like, oh yeah, you could go on the pill to manage those symptoms. And, end of story. And I was on it forever to just be on it. I don't know. It was just a convenience because it made your period like clockwork, right? It's like I got it the same time, the same day every month. So it's very convenient. But I mean, I feel as though it's unnatural. I think obviously contraception is, good if you want it, but I think there are other ways to do that naturally if you want to do it. But Yeah.
So was the symptom easier? Because you said that you had severe pain. Did it go away?
Yeah, definitely. I used to have like 2 week long periods when I got my period at 12 and I was, managing it. And then, I guess at the tail end of puberty when you're 16, I guess it just kind of, I don't know what happened in my body. It was just, I honestly think at the time I was stressed and I wasn't eating well. You know how a 16-year-old eats, they kind of eat whatever candy, garbage, McDonald's, like random stuff. And, even I was vegetarian at that time, but I don't know. It was just a lot going on at once. So I think it was just, that was the way to do it. Just take a pill.
England's the same. Where it was like it was a given. You all went on birth control. It's like it's like it's not even recommended. It's like you must go on, and you just did it automatically. And I was the same. I cut it quite quick. Luckily, I think 4 or 5 years. But I wasn't. I was later sexually active, but more for my periods as well, Miranda. I really struggled with heavy, long, cramps, headaches. Yeah, so it did help, but then the natural way just even better. So I felt, it wasn't natural for me. I just knew quite quickly. Luckily, because some people I know they're on for many years. I have friends still on.
Yeah, it's the same in Australia. I had, health problems, but before that, acne. Here's the pill. It reminds me as well of antidepressants. Is your mood's low? It's not a discussion about exercise and fresh air and stress, and or even supplementation to some degree. It's simply here's a pill. In my head, I've been around a lot of doctors. Those two are, to be honest, like candy. Like it's not a sitting down, here's the pros and cons. It's like very normal.
Yeah, especially with the antidepressants. And I think I didn't mention it, but I definitely had, I think I had said I had mood swings and stuff. And, there's like the bipolar disorder and all these different things that they try to say I am. And I'm like, I'm not any of these things. I don't believe in that, to a degree. Changing my diet, changing my lifestyle, changing the way I look about, other people in my life and goals I have. And I think when you have direction, when you have passion, when you have these things, you don't need these pills. And it's funny to me because it's just funny to me because a lot of things are hormones and stuff like serotonin is created in the gut. And if you have a bad gut, a bad microbiome, a not so great diet, how do you expect to feel good in the head, feel good in the brain with your neurotransmitters? So I think it's all connected. Like we're a symphony. Really, one thing's out, it can kind of flow into everything else.
Yeah.
You're amazing, Amanda. Like Amanda. Sorry, because I've been in psychiatric units, right, where a psychiatrist comes in and checks you every 3 days. And I was handed out in that period of time where I'm acute, right? They've locked me up. I reckon about 15 different diagnoses in just the 3-month period because they're just symptoms of an inner problem and you're displaying them and they will label them. And yes, that might help some people to deal with symptoms, but the underlying core, like it's just what I'm displaying there. And I met a lot of people in there and they're displaying all the symptoms of different diagnoses, just at different times. Some swing into more than others, but it's all there. So that's just so inspiring that you recognize that I'm not this, I can do this. So that made my day.
I think a lot of people want to stick to a label. It helps them kind of, I don't know, grasp what they're feeling and dictate. It helps them be able to, I don't know, go around and tell people, this is what I am, this is what I have, and X, Y, Z. It's just like, I'm not any of these things. I can be whatever I want to be. And, it's kind of about like the freedom. And it's nice because you're not shackled by what other people tell you are, whatever people tell you to be. We have our own freedom. We have our freedom to be active, to exercise, to eat well, to spend our time doing something that is good and productive and going to benefit your life, rather than spending things that are going to, you know, not benefit our life term, right? Like it's more about like short term versus long term investments for your body, for your mind, your soul. I don't know.
Oh, 100%. And I've always said I'm so inspired by you because you did all this so young. When I think of my life, I think I was the most inducted and controlled and had no idea when I was your age. And so you are just so inspiring.
Thank you, Sky.
Yes, you are.
Yes.
And it's so crazy that people, well, I think nowadays there's more opportunity to realize that, and there's so many people that are sharing on YouTube or you guys on your channel, so many doctors just saying like, hey, the mood swings, just pay attention to the mineral deficiency that can be happening in your body, or check on this specific blood test. Just stop guessing, right? So, but yeah, like Sky, like it's so inspiring for me to see younger generations just taking responsibility of their body and their mind and the whole thing. And as a mother, for me, it's like I talk to my daughters about all of this, and sometimes they're like, maybe it's too much information, but um, they will need it at some point.
Well, that's great that you talk to your daughters about that because, you know, not saying my mom wasn't a great mom and she is and always has been a great mom, but, you know, there are some things like limitations others people have. And I can't expect that of my mom if she doesn't practice that way of life. Right. So I kind of had to go out of my way to get information, and definitely the internet. Like that was one of the best places I discovered a lot of people, a lot of just information, and you know, going out there living on my own. As you know, I turned 18 and I moved out, and I had a whole entire vegan household with my best friend, and it was just I don't know, I guess I went out of my way to like make sure that my life's going to be the way I want it to be. And it, you know, we're not like we don't have to live live a certain way because of our circumstances. You know, we can create that, we can create our life, and a good mindset, we can create a good mindset.
I love that it's what you're saying is that this younger generation, we want to have a choice, right? I feel like when I think back is there is no choice. Doctor is the end game. That's what I felt like, especially younger. And it's like, yeah, that's there, but it's opening up. And that's what you're doing as well, Dulce, right? By opening the conversation with your children, is it's not just one way.
Yes, thank you. And also with the boys, it's like two sides. I have two and two, and I'm like, okay, maybe not with the youngest one, but they are aware of all the things that are happening in the house and the tools and the biohacks, or just like grounding or whatever it is that I'm incorporating to the family. And St. John, like with the boys, he's like nailing it. So I think it's really important to share the awareness and maybe not overwhelm them with the information, but eventually just having conversations at the table. The way that, okay, listen to your body. If you feel like you're already satisfied, your body says, I'm good with this. Just be mindful of what you're going to have the rest of the day, or conversations like that. Like, okay, you want to have this specific thing, fine. But yeah, it's just conversations that I wish I had as a kid, as a teenager, right? But
Yeah.
yeah, we had to dive into our own and healing ourselves, and um, have this beautiful community where you can keep learning and evolving and sharing with people to help others.
Yeah.
I appreciate that, Dulce, what you were saying about having all these different tools for your sons and your daughters. And I think that's amazing, because even if they choose their own path, they're they're open to so much more. And I can remember my mom, when I was younger, she was what we would say a health nut. She was super healthy. And then she actually went vegan years before I did. And I'm just looking at her like, what are you doing? And now, now she's not vegan anymore, but now I'm vegan. And then what you were saying about, and everyone was saying about birth control being so easy to get. I went in a long time ago, like when I was 16, for acne, and I was put on birth control, and it helped, but not nearly as much as going raw vegan helped. Like, we're not told these other options. And so it's nice today that we have podcasts such as this and YouTube channels where there's other ideas out there, so we can think outside the box, try what works for us. And I just think, Miranda, you're such an inspiration to younger people, and well, all of us, to everyone. You're an inspiration to me for sure. But they can look and see, wow, she's so healthy, she's glowing, what is she doing? You look so happy. And the answer is so like right in front of us, like fruit. It's so easy.
I know. I mean, brightest thing in the room is fruit. Yeah. And, we want to emanate that. We're going to be the brightest in the room, like competition wise, but you know what I mean? Just kind of spreading the goodness, spreading the joy to other people. And, it's nice to hear that because, I do have a lot of young people in my audience, a lot of young girls message me and, well, how do you do this? And how do you do this? And I really love that because I remember, being whatever, 15, 16 years old. And I was going out of my way to kind of do too, but I guess it wasn't, I don't know, social media is so much more accessible and YouTube is like more vast. Like there's way more videos on it now than it was like 12 years ago. So I just think it's great we have this community. We have just so much out there. And a lot of people, they just, like you said, Sky, oh, the doctor, that's that. I go to the doctor, that's the doctor, yes.
Yeah.
And like they know a lot of what they know.
Mm-hmm.
That's a limitation. They know this, pills, checks this box, checks this box. And it's not that clear. It's not that black and white. I think people, I think holistic health is, the way to do it because we're a whole being, not just a compartmentalized being. So, yeah.
Yeah, very well said.
Mm-hmm. And Marabella, you have daughters, right?
I have two daughters and one son. Yes.
How did they react to your diet?
They're all really supportive. One of my daughters will make sure that there's fruit, vegetables, all the things in her house when I come over. Super supportive. They know, like my son, he picks and chooses what he likes about the diet. He likes the fruit. Like I'll just make him watermelon for lunch or something, and he really likes that. But he says, no, I could never do that. It's not good to just eat one thing. And I'm like, I don't eat just one thing. I eat a whole bunch of things, a whole kind of vegetables and fruits. But yeah, my family's really supportive, and they don't talk about a difference in me like from before to now, but I feel such a huge shift in mood, hormones, energy, everything. So I think they're just keeping this in their memory, storing it away. We'll see what they do. One of my daughters she didn't really call herself vegan, and she didn't call herself vegetarian. She didn't name herself, but she went gluten-free, dairy-free when she was pregnant because Sailor would, my little granddaughter, would just have like reactions while she was pregnant with her if she ate the wrong thing. And then when she was born, she couldn't have gluten, she couldn't have dairy. So my daughter ate that way for a while, and I think she's slowly adding other things back in, but she lost weight, her skin cleared up, she looked amazing, she had a ton of energy. So she might go back, you never know.
I think the best way is for mothers to be happy, just be, and you are radiating, Marabella. So I think
Thank you.
your kids would just see and speak to itself.
Thank you.
So
lot of the studies coming up now, and this isn't to offend anyone, I'm just repeating what I've seen, that a lot of the problems women have when they're pregnant is based on the health of the men's sperm, which I've only seen come up recently. So it is there's a total correlation between women who get morning sickness is the big one I see that keeps coming up. And it is not the woman's fault or the baby's fault, but it's actually the health of the sperm. And I love this awareness because it's like there's a lot of pressure on women and we do our best. But what if there's half of it's coming from the males? So it's this awareness that's coming through. And that's not to offend anyone. I'm just repeating what I've seen.
It's true.
Yeah.
It's true. I think the couple should be doing like an emotional inner work, and then prepare their body to become a parent, or to search for, if that's the desire, right, to clean your temple, to like hold the space, both of them, and then go for it whenever they're ready. Before, like, there's a lot of emotional trauma and things like that you can remove before. Like I said, I wish I knew this before I brought my 4 kids to this world. But I always try to share that for conscious parenting, like try to do that work before you decide to become one. And a parasite cleanse or whatever protocol that you feel inspired to, both of us, like men and women, get ready for bringing a miracle into life.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, see, like my fiance, like he's vegan, but not like eating super healthy like I do. So, you know, he has days where he eats more good than not. But I would say, like, yeah, in the first year before you plan on having children, I think you really should focus on your physical health, your emotional health, your, you know, because when you have a child, you're bringing another life into this world. And, you know, you got to focus on bettering yourself and putting yourself in a good situation and state of mind for that. So I don't think like anyone, like, I'm not a mother yet. And I don't think like anyone can 100% like prepare and like, oh, you know, you have to just kind of trust yourself to know what's good for you, what's going to be good for the child that you bring. But you know, you're so right. Like when we have the baby inside of us, we're all like, oh, you got to do this, you got to do this, you got to do this. But we have to think about it like this. Yes, half of it comes from the man. Like there has to be more to that, you know. And it's just crazy that just now we're hearing about these things, you know, when all these studies happened on a lot of health studies, a lot of sleep studies happen on men before like they would test on women. So it's like, but then they would only, you know, test on women or like survey women for these sorts of things, which is just interesting to me. But I did see that comment, the 8 to 10 hours of sleep per night. And I did hear that too. And I definitely get more sleep than my fiance does, but I don't know about 8. I don't know about 10 hours. I definitely 8 to 9 hours. But 10 hours seems a bit much. What do you guys think?
It makes a kind of sense, like during your period, maybe more. So maybe like you would need 8 to 10 on certain months.
Right, because men, they have a 24-hour cycle. We have a 30-day cycle, basically. So you have to think about, oh, I'm in my luteal phase. I'll be more hungry. I'll probably be more sleepy. I'll probably be more irritable. Oh, I'm in my follicular phase. I'll be more energized. I'll be more motivated. So, like, we have to kind of know where our cycle is. And I was talking to my mom, for all people. She didn't even know what a follicular phase was. I'm like, you're like my mom. It's crazy that like we don't like no one teaches you about that in the health class or anything like that. Like, nobody teaches us about our cycles. So what? We just have to live this way like a man does, for example. Like they live a different like physical, emotional way than we do, which is great because men are great and women are great in their own way, but we're definitely not meant to be
in the
living
same
life.
You guys didn't have a class in Japan? We have a class for girls and boys, And I remember when I was in 6th grade, it's around the time that we have to think about how our body changed. And we learned, not in detail, but we learned about the cycle, like what happens to women's body. You guys don't have that?
Yeah, well, we had health class. So we had health, we learned about reproductive health, but there wasn't any information really about our cycle, even about periods in general. Like I had the video in like 6th grade.
Yeah.
All the girls were together and we watched a video on our period and like, oh my gosh, you have pads. Do you have
It's
any?
just that.
Yeah.
Literally
The
just
menstruation, not the other 3 parts.
It was more about the instruments. That's what if I think back, it was more about just the organs are different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To make
the
the baby.
mechanical part of it.
Yeah, and they're like, but what they combine together, not that what's attached is just the energies are so different. And the more I do this lifestyle and connect with you guys and explore myself, I really realize how much I love being in feminine energy, but it's not, that drive hard, work hard, like do a lot, keep going was what I was brought up in, and I didn't realize it. And clearing that makes me even see men in a more beautiful light because of what essentially they have, not just like organs. It's like they bring to this world something different. And I think it gets, it could be a topic for another time, but like it's just something which was never really talked about at all.
Yeah, I think when women are too far into their masculine energy, that's when a lot of things go wrong. Like for a short period of time, I felt like I was in a lot of masculine energy. Like I'd get up early, I'd go to the gym, and these are great things to do, don't get me wrong, but I'd like get up early, go to the gym, work 2 jobs and blah, 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 blah. And like, this is also the time where I felt like I had a lot of health issues too. So I think like if you're too far into your masculine energy and not honoring your feminine energy and honoring your cycles, then that can lead to other health issues as well.
Yeah.
100%. I have to even say off the back of having a full hysterectomy that's the path that I was on, right? Is how deep does it actually go where the organ can't be there anymore? And that may seem complex to a lot of people, but to me, when you've been on this journey, you cannot take away the emotional, the psychological, and the physical. They're all linked like that. And so like what was playing a part there? But yeah.
I'm glad Mallory is brought up about tampons and pads. This is something actually I wanted to ask you, Miranda, and probably the rest of you. I actually stopped using these and found out the toxicity that's in the pads and tampons, and also environmentally as well. So I use like the Diva Cup, and I use reusable pads. So I wash mine and the cotton. So I'm very conscious of the material. Miranda, are you using? Because I know you're very conscious.
Yeah, honestly, I never really thought about it, to be honest, for a long time. Oh, like you just go to the store, you get tampons, you get whatever you need. And yeah, they can be very full of not good things. And I don't ever use tampons. I haven't used tampons in a long time. I used to use them every day. They're very convenient at school. And I don't know, it didn't feel right after lifestyle. And Diva Cup, I think it's awesome. I think it's great. And I think everyone should use it. And I have like this period underwear too, but I don't wear them every day. I wear them on like the first and second days. Diva Cup because conscious. There's no leaks going on. But I have these panty line case, maybe the first or but yeah, I don't even know. I mean, maybe those great, right? And they say this and that. But, I probably go, not use those. But I used to take ibuprofen like all day long on my first and second day. And, after going on this lifestyle, I don't need that anymore. I drink my herbal teas. I do my massages. I do my heat compresses if I feel like I'm getting period cramps. But it's actually rare that I get a lot of cramps anymore. Thank goodness. So, yeah, but that's an interesting concept to bring up to young girls, the tampons about this. And it seems like a lot of people just shrug it off, like, oh, what else are
Yeah.
Yeah,
another
I saw
thing. You gotta
a whole lot of
Yeah.
girls over on TikTok when someone posted about the Diva Cup and the problem with tampons, saying I stopped them and a lot of my cramping went. I haven't had cramping since. And I that's why I loved it. I love people sharing like their information. I scanned down and the thing that was a big one that came up. So I found that I wanted to put that out there.
I don't use the Diva Cup so much now because my periods are a lot lighter, and as you go on this lifestyle, that's one thing I am so grateful of, because I used to have like full 7 days of heavy periods. I mean, depends on when I've noticed when I increase my fats more so closer to my periods, I have more, I'm a little heavier, but it's only like a day or two now. But even then it's not as heavy as it used to be. But I have it here, and I'll use it here and there depending on what I'm doing if I'm out and about, but often I'm just using the very light reusable pads.
Oh, reusable pads. Could you send me those links? Because I would like to try that. Or, just try it. Because the first day and a half, I would say, is heavier-ish than usual. But after like 2 days, I barely am even bleeding. So it's like, it's so nice because I used to have like 5 to 7 days bleeding, period. Oh, and I'm just so grateful for that, just finding this lifestyle, and like also honoring my cycle when it comes to exercising. I used to over exercise before and during my period, and I feel like that also puts you in a lot of masculine energy. And I always recommend to girls that ask me about period cramps or just period PMS, hormonal health in general, I'm like, you have to honor your rest during the luteal and menstruation phase so much. I go on a daily walk, maybe for 30 minutes, but I don't do any exercise, like crazy exercise. I don't go to the gym. I just think rest is so crucial in that time period that you need to calm down. It would be okay if you miss the gym for a day or two, just to honor that rest and regeneration period during your menstruation, even luteal phase too.
I love that all the sacredness of womanhood is like coming through this podcast, like just how sacred all of these practices are.
You might want to check the chat, guys.
Oh, sorry. Thank you.
You're welcome.
So does anyone else have anything they wanted to talk about? I know you're going soon, Tony.
Just right. Yeah, I have to go now, ladies. So nice to see you all and meet you, Miranda. Thank you so much.
See you, Tony.
Have a beautiful day.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye, Tony.
Bye. Okay. Is there anything else that was coming up that anyone wanted to ask Miranda about before we go on?
Well, I just wanted to add about the pads and tampons and all of those things. Like if there's like for the younger girls that don't feel comfortable using the menstrual cup at the beginning, I mean, there's different sizes and everything, but also just make sure that at least is cotton and they don't have fragrance, they don't have all these crazy ingredients or toxicity, because it's not ingredients but materials. At least just have that awareness, and as mothers, just share that with your kids. And also I also share with my boys, like if you see one of your friends that have a spot or they have an accident or something, just like protect them, share your jacket or whatever, just say something, right? But yeah, just be mindful of what we're putting in our body. Same with the paper towels or anything. It's just like all bleach all over the place, and we don't realize how much it's the hormone disruptors all over, and the tickets or all of those things that are stuck in our bodies.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you about like public hand soap. I actually bring a mini bar of soap when I go out, so I don't have to use public hand soap because it's extremely dry it like dries my skin out, and it's just fake with the fragrance. So I have this mini little bar of castle soap I bring around, and I'm in the public restroom and I'm like, have my little bar of
That's a
soap.
good advice.
I just don't. It dries my skin out so bad too. Just one thing. I mean, I used to have like really, really dry skin, and I don't anymore. But when I notice definitely when I'm out a lot more, and just kind of all these different smells too, with all the colognes and this and that. It's just I notice like if I'm out too long in public spaces, I can get like a headache because it's just so much going on, and they can disrupt a lot of things, especially if you're using them every day. The perfumes and laundry detergents too. I always make sure to do scent free laundry detergent. I have these sheets that I use that I love so much. I used to have like hives and stuff when I was younger and like a teenager, and then I started to use scentless laundry detergent, and they all like I never had that problem since. It's just so crazy how we can be our bodies can be so used to something that we don't even know that it's bad anymore.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. I had seen something else come up recently, and that is about Europe and candles and hormone disruptors. I thought Europe was banning fragrance in candles, but it's actually the Netherlands. In 2006, they're banning phthalates and certain artificial oils. And Europe, that's just the Netherlands, and they're going to be using pure essential oils instead.
Great.
And Europe, it says here, there's specific chemicals that are classed as carcinogenic. There's a list here, have been banned in Europe since 2022. So it's just something I saw come up. It must have been about the Netherlands, but it's all got to start, right? Is like because it's not just one thing. It's that they build up and you don't know where they're coming in. I remember when I first went raw, I'd wash my hands with water. I would rather the bacteria because I was so sensitive than the actual chemical, because I was so chemically sensitive. And like that was, back then, but that's a great idea, Miranda.
It really like I just shave it off like with a potato peeler. You can just kind of like shave it off a little bar of soap, and there you go. Or you can buy like mini ones, but why would I do that? Or you can have a little bottle of the, regular castle soap.
Yeah.
But with like, you could use essential oil, like, what other different soaps they have? Just like nothing with whatever, all these different things that you can't pronounce.
Yeah, that's what you want to avoid. You don't want anything with those type of things in it, right? That's where you run. Drop it and run.
Yeah, and apparently one of the major companies here in Japan, they did the research during the COVID, because this bacteria, like how do we prevent, and yeah, they did the research, and apparently as long as you let the water run for at least 10 seconds and wash your hands with the running water, all the bacteria apparently goes away. So I don't use my soap. Especially when I'm out, I never use the soap because it smells really disgusting. And with my husband, I asked him not to use it because at home we have a soap, but I asked him, please do not use the soap outside, because it just his hand would be smelling the whole day, and it was just, yeah. So I just wash with running water, and it's fine. Oh, yes, a bit of bacteria is good.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know where they did the studies, but tap water here is not
Not good here.
Definitely not here.
Essentially, when we're in contact with bacteria, we are trillions of bacteria, right? The idea should be anything we come in contact with should in some way assimilate to our body, or if it doesn't work, our body have enough bacteria to break it down. But this brings, I don't know whether I brought this up before. So about the microbiome, there's this doctor who said, I never let my children play on wheelchairs at airports. He goes, because there's consistently different microbiomes I don't want my children to have. And the other thing this doctor says, and this is very controversial, but I mean, it's essentially what is going on. So if someone really fit and healthy comes in for a fit check, he won't wear gloves. But if someone comes in extremely sick, he will wear gloves. He said, I'm picking my microbiome now. I want my microbiome to be strong. And I just find that all so interesting.
That's interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. I also just wanted to touch on this menopausal thing, because I know women who have had hysterectomies, and it's sad, me being one of them, and it saddens me how many, I never felt this way, but so many say, I'm so glad I don't have my cycle now. So when the pain went from my hysterectomy, one of the things I probably never put enough effort into, and especially in this journey now, is how much I would have nurtured if I still had a cycle right now, my cycle, and how sad it is that so many women just don't want it, when it's such a gift, but it's portrayed from such a young age as a problem.
Yes.
True.
It doesn't have to be a
I think-
problem. Sometimes people make it more of a problem because of their diet, their lifestyle, and things. And I think it plays into not wanting to take responsibility as well, because we can't help that we have a period, right? That's just how we are as women. But just like anything else, you can nurture it. You can make it better. Like, you don't have to succumb to the way that things are. It's just funny because we're not victims because we have periods. It's a gift, it's just like, it does. There's nothing to be ashamed of. There's nothing to be embarrassed of. Like, young girls do, oh, like this and this, and it's not gross. It's just our biology, and it's just great. And I think we have to nurture that. And even having a hysterectomy, not having a period anymore, you still have like cycles, right? But yeah, like my mom, she had a hysterectomy as well, so she's dealing with like the menopause and stuff, but it's gotten much better. She's been doing a lot of she's actually vegan, but not like fruit-based vegan, but still better than not. She does a lot of the essential oils. I'm going to say I do a lot of aromatherapy, essential oils, and I have like these signature scents, but I use a jasmine is like my favorite. I love smelling like flowers, and it's really good for like relaxing. And anyway, there are other stuff for like menopause that you can do to better that cycle. And it doesn't have to. Obviously, it's not going to be splendid all the time, right? But you can manage it. You can manage it if you go out of your way to educate yourself about your body.
So what it feels like, I was just going to say off the back of the menopause thing, what it feels like for me is how connected I have to be to the moon, as in like my little egg cycle has disappeared, and all of a sudden there's this complete pull that I'm running so strongly with the moon. And I love that. And I kind of think that would have been a natural transition for women as they age, like the sacredness. You've got your own little moon going on, plus you've got the other moon, but you could, use both, but then you are completely dependent. It feels like it opened the universe for me. So it's definitely not all bad. Sorry, Kiko.
No. I just wanted to mention about the reusable pads. So when I have my period, I like using my reusable pad. It's just the organic cotton. You can even make it. And I bought quite a few, but I use my own towel. So it's just you can just use the towel like this, organic one, and just you use it as a pad. And this way you're mindful of, how much blood that's coming out during your cycle. And I've read quite a few period books, and because I wanted to learn this mystery of woman's body. And apparently here in Japan, when we didn't have all that pads or tampons, they used to just control it with their inner muscle, and they would just discharge it when they go use the bathroom.
Wow.
And I started to do that exercise, and it's really interesting, like, how we can control our inner muscle to, hold it and discharge when you need to. And it makes sense not to do the exercise, like a strong, extreme exercise during our menstrual cycle, because then it's difficult to control that inner cycle. So yeah, I just wanted to mention that you could control it to hold
Wow.
as much as possible and keep that lining in case.
Yeah.
Wow.
Would
I
that be like
haven't like tried the whole thing, but the clearer I was doing my nourishment, I got to experience that specific times. But it's not like I have been working so much into it. But I did notice that when I put my intention into um like several months, I was on, especially on the third day, because on the second day for me it's like all the fluid is coming,
Mhm.
so it's
Yeah.
not as as easy. But coming back to the point that you were saying, Sky, the perspective that we have from our parents or whoever is in charge of us when we're a kid and we're having our first period, and the cultural belief um, that they share with us about our period, it really sets all the way that we're gonna have or see our our cycle, and the way that we feel, if we feel any type of shame, if we feel like, oh, it's something gross, or if it's like the relationship that we're gonna have with it, and the relationship that it's like exterior, it's something uh that, as I experienced, it was something out of me. It's like this happens, but I didn't get to be taught this is a beautiful way that you are
Mhm.
going to, or as a woman, the sacred um,
Mm.
gift that we have, right? I didn't get to learn that from my mother. It was more like, oh, you're gonna have your period and you have to be bleeding specific amount of days, and I think it's like a programming. It can be like 7 days, and it can be like
Mm.
this, and it's gonna hurt sometimes, and it's gonna do this and then that and that, and you will have to take care of yourself. I don't think my mom had like a very long conversation about it, but
Mhm.
all those things or those programs that you put in yourself or you get from the people that are with you are the ones that are gonna be accompanying you on every cycle. So until you take the responsibility and you start like, okay, let me connect within myself, and it doesn't have to be painful. It doesn't have to be like this and that, and you're just like reprogramming that part as well. And like I said, in my mind was 7 days, and 7 days were really heavy for me. And once I was connecting and knowing my body, I was like, okay, because I didn't know the cycle of it. It was just a menstruation. And after that, when I was getting older, I was just getting to know a little bit more and reading books or talking with friends and how it's for you. And it was always like they were ahead of me, so they were sharing an information. But I think it's really important, as we're talking about it, to share the sacred way of seeing how our body works, and the beautiful part that even if you experience the hysterectomy, or people that are struggling with their period, or with whatever it is with the hormones, just let's be open to change that perspective and see the beautiful that can happen even when you don't have it anymore, right? Because it's like, oh, thank God I don't have my period. Or yeah, you can express like that, because that's the way that we been experiencing, like it was so heavy, or it
Mhm.
was like this or that. It can be as however it was for each person, but just trying to connect a little bit more of what we are holding in, and heal
Mhm.
whatever it is.
Comes to the period, what I learnt about raw foods and when I went raw is many things that used to come out of my body I perceived as gross. I would have sleep in my eyes, I would have things come out of my face. and it's basically confronting my actions, right? Yes, there's levels of trauma, but we're constantly putting in junk, right? And the idea is that we're filtering out. If you've eaten gross, you're going to see gross. That's when I think back. Imagine seeing my period if I'd put in good. So I eat my food very mindfully with love, and I want my body to feel good. And I don't see much on my body anymore that's gross. Whereas I think before I went, everything that came out was gross, but I'd never addressed the fact that what I was putting in was pretty gross, right?
Yeah.
So I'd love to transport Sky back to baby Sky or teen Sky and see if she was putting good in, if I saw the amazement. Because even when I accidentally cut myself now, it's not like a scare. It's usually like, sometimes it can be a bit of a scare, but it's usually like an amazement that my body has this fluid, this beautiful fluid that's going to bring it all back to, I never saw anything like that. And that is I've done no work on like perception or like how I see. That's just, especially I cut myself a couple of times when I first got raw. So I'm very interested if, because a lot of girls talk about how, and I guess we're getting a bit detailed now, but what comes out of them is like there's clots and there's things that disgust them, right? And I believe us as humans and animals I think more in tune because they're out in nature, are just not aware that we're really looking at our actions.
Yeah, I think when things come out of my body, there's a reason why it's coming out. I don't want anything to be disturbed of or grossed out. And sometimes, like TMI, things that come out of me amazes me because then I think about how things used to come out of me, and it was like constipation stuff, for example. Like I used to have a bad experience with like going to the bathroom, and now it's like I know when I need to go. It's fine. It's great. And I feel relieved. And that's a great thing. And even with like your period, I'm not afraid to go to the bathroom. I'm not afraid of any of that. And I think it's just the way that the way that you see yourself. But like you guys said, like when you put in gross stuff, what do you think's going to come out? Not just
I never got that correlation. Until 40.
Till now, like I mean, I always thought, not always, but you are what you eat, right? And I think that is one of the best sayings because it's so simple and it puts that visual right there in front of you. Like I'm eating a banana. Oh, yay, bananas are amazing and delicious and vibrant, and I'm going to feel good afterwards. Or you're eating a greasy donut. How are you going to feel? Like, it's pretty, like, it's not cut and dry, but it's just kind of, it's right there in front of your face. And I think it's the best way to inspire others is to simply be the best version of you and simply do what's good for you mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually. I don't know. I think it's not an easy connection, but I think it's easier in hindsight, I guess, when you think about it, like how we've healed certain things and the way we see food and our health. It's kind of easier to say it like that. But at the time of, struggling, I think those are necessary times. I don't think anything necessarily should or does come easy.
I used to hate my period. Like I hated it. Like I would do anything. Like I would just try to not have, like I didn't want it. And then I saw this website and it was talking about how it's such a beautiful time for women where we get to relax. We can, sit in a heated blanket, drink tea, like Miranda said, exercise less, just kind of be instead of like in the masculine doing. And then I started looking at it like it's a cleansing process. So a lot of times if I'm going to do a juice fast or something, or just maybe a mono fruit day, maybe on my period, I'll do that just to kind of aid in that cleansing process. And then as I'm cleansing, if I feel tired or anything, I let myself rest. I let myself slow down. And I just look at it now like it's a blessing. Like I know it's not going to be here forever. So I'm just loving it as it's here. I'm finding ways to enjoy it, to just be in my divine feminine and appreciate it. Like, our bodies are so amazing. Like, women we can hold babies, you know, give birth, and it's so wonderful.
I love that. Like, I think it is like a regeneration because your body's literally shedding itself. And I think that
Yes.
you are shedding, you know, parts of your body, but you can also be shedding like the stresses of whatever, or like just allowing yourself to rest, like even emotionally rest. Like you said, like doing fasts and stuff. Like I wouldn't necessarily do like fasts personally, but I guess like the mono meals, I do a lot of bananas, a lot of like melons and stuff that's high in, you know, potassium and magnesium and stuff like that. Obviously we need, especially, and I do a lot of like dark leafy greens. So I definitely focus on that a lot more, like more hydration, more like caloric density. And yeah, and I think like during ovulation times, for example, is when I might go out and experiment with different restaurants and like stuff like that. But when I'm on my period for a whole week, like maybe a few days before and a few days after, I'm eating at home all the time. I'm making juices. I'm doing all these things. It's like a reset button to kind of, and it's great because like you said, the new moon, the full moon, I actually get my period around the new moon, and around when it comes to like ovulation, around like the full moon. And that's crazy because I know actually was looking at a lot of girls, they do actually, whether it be like they ovulate on the new moon or full moon, it's just like, I don't know. It makes so much sense, like to connect to nature and the moon and that so much. And I just love being a woman, talking about women's stuff with you guys. It's great.
Love it. I love it. Talking to you guys too. It's so good.
Some studies says that the reason women lives longer than men in general is because of it's thanks to the period. This that's the way of, you know, way of detox as well. And yeah,
that makes sense.
It does.
Yeah,
it does make sense. So, did anybody else want to ask Miranda anything? I just love that we get to, like, if I could go, as I said, it's not that I dream of going back, but if I went back, it'd be that I'd want my cycle to be sacred. And the cycle I have with the moon and myself now is that, but to gift to a younger generation the idea that it is not gross, that it is a beautiful thing, that you're allowed to be a woman, that it's not embarrassing, that, you know, you should feel good and love all parts of yourself, you know, in different ways, even if they are things that are coming out of your body. Like, how amazing. Like, the whole principle is that it's, as you said, the women's body is so amazing. We literally are a gateway to like the higher realms because we birth a soul. Like, what is that? Like, that's the most miraculous thing ever. And we can't say what's coming out like that lining is gross. Like, that lining will bring a soul in if you choose. Like, I can't think of a more magical.
Same. It's such a blessing to just have that. It's also a reminder of my fertility and stuff like that. I think when I get my period, I'm like, well, I am of childbearing age. Okay, it's great. I get my period and I'm able to do that. And it's great. And it's kind of like a constant reminder of that too. And just kind of like we talked about slowing down. Like, it's a slow period, literally. Slow period of time. And I think, like you said, Marabella, it's not forever. Like, even if you have cramps that you struggle with and stuff like that, and you just have to put in the back of your mind, like, yeah, it's not going to last, and we can do things to aid in that. But it's also a reminder, like, it's not going to be forever. It's a period, not a whole sentence.
That's right. That's right. Well, this has been wonderful, guys. It's been so nice to have you, Miranda.
Thanks, guys.
You're welcome back anytime, Miranda. Anytime you want to join the panel.
Thank you.
So thank you everybody for joining. Thank you to the panel for being here. I'm very excited because next month we're going to be doing like a recap of what each of us learnt, hormone and our women's hood in 2025 and what we're going to do looking into 2026. So I think that'll be really exciting.
Oh,
Wow, thank you,
Sounds good.
Scott, for helping us connect with beautiful people, and I really appreciate you building up the community all around the world.
Oh, you're welcome. I love it. I love you guys, and I'm so grateful for all of you and those watching. And yeah, we'll be back soon.
Great.
right.
Thank
Thank
you.
you so much.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.